We got some protests going on in New Jersey right now. So I kind of covered it when it was first starting up. I didn't really expect it to get as big as it did. So I'm kind of curious, what all's going on. I know that they attacked, I think, a congressperson who was trying to get inside to see the conditions. The basic premise of what's happening right now is that the conditions inside of this Delaney Hall concentration camp are supposedly like very, very bad, is my understanding. And I think there's people who are going on a hunger strike inside of it, who are trying to get attention on it. And they've gotten that attention now. And so then a bunch of people are outside protesting. And then I think there's been escalations by the police, and there's been escalations by the government implementing a curfew or something. But anyway, let's go ahead and watch this video from Fox News. I'm sure they'll have completely unbiased framing about it, and we'll see what's going on. Try and catch up at the Ingram angle. I hate fucking horses, dude. I mean, I don't hate horses. I hate when any animal is used by fascist thugs in order to facilitate their evil agenda. I also hate when cops use dogs and stuff. I hate anytime you take an innocent animal and then use them, or like when slave drivers used to use dogs and shit to like track down slaves and stuff. Anytime you use animals for like evil, I really hate that shit.
The poor horses. Well, that's what you get when you elect Democrats. After days of vile behavior outside a New Jersey ICE detention facility, the city of Newark is taking the bold action of imposing a 9 p.m. curfew tonight. Oh, good. Now, over the weekend, hordes of left-wing insurgents showed up there in costume with helmets, shields, gas masks, while others set off fireworks, getting ready for America 250, and then they threw rocks aimed at police.
Hell yeah. Patriots, they're doing their patriotic duty against these fascist thugs, man. Everybody should be out there.
Hands up! Hands up! Don't shoot!
Yeah, we're about to see a lot of this. By the way, for all of the people out there, for all of the people who think that they're only going to do this to like left-wing protesters or whatever, trust me, you'll be on the list. Okay, they'll do it to you too when your material conditions are bad enough and you want to go out there and protest your government for keeping oil or keeping gas prices at like $10 a gallon because Israel told you to, or whatever, or told our government to, or like drafting all of our children to go fight for the Nazi state of Israel. When you want to go out there and protest that shit, they're going to be doing this shit to you too. Okay, I'm just letting you know. We shouldn't normalize this sort of like fascist thuggery. These protesters are doing God's work out there, and they should be supported. And even if you're like pro cop or something, which I'm not, but even if you're pro cop and shit, you don't want the police and the government using the police as an apparatus for suppressing the will of the people.
Well, how does boss lady Governor Mikey Sherrill try to avoid blame here?
We know that people from outside the state have been interfering in the protests and escalating them. 5 of the 6 people arrested last night by state police were from outside New Jersey. To the people coming from...
Who cares? Who cares? I mean, there's literal like concentration camps. Like it's important to protest concentration camps. It is. People should have been, I assume in Nazi Germany, it would have helped if more people protested concentration camps.
From out of state to create chaos and dangerous situations. You should not be here.
Oh, that's tough. They shouldn't be there. But the illegals in Delaney Hall should be? She's only been in office, Cheryl, what, for 6 months?
Also, I think Delaney Hall is a privately owned one, aka they're profiting off of the suffering of others, which is, a horrifying thing. And like I said, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop with migrants, people. American citizens are going to end up in these concentration camps as well.
Months or so, but she's already competing with Hochul, Pritzker, Newsom for the worst governor in America award. The truth is, the insurgents traveled to New Jersey because they know they have a friend in Cheryl. I mean, she agrees with them, the end goal at least.
Clearly
they don't
not.
try this stuff in Florida. DeSantis would shut down that chaos in about 15 minutes. And
well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Didn't they shut down Alligator Alcatraz already? Like, I mean, I don't know if it was due to like protests or anything, but they did shut it down. And it'll happen there too. It'll happen everywhere, man. This is going to happen everywhere as they start throwing more and more people in there, and it expands beyond immigrants. There's gonna be more and more protests everywhere, including in red states.
We've said for years that these Marxist mobs are well funded and they're supremely well organized. They even have their own emergency gear, which independent journalist Nick Sorter saw firsthand.
If you have not been fully trained, you are not qualified to do anything. If you are on the ground and pepper spray is being deployed, the first thing that you do, you stop, you breathe, you put on your gloves. Do you understand?
How many of those so-called protesters do you think played varsity sports? They're like the kids who...
Probably a decent amount of them. I don't know. Probably just a normal amount. I don't. That's a weird thing to ask.
I think.
By the way, they always give advice when you're going to any sort of like organized protest that like you need people, you need leaders out there to communicate exactly what to do under various circumstances, what not to do in order to try your best not to antagonize the police. It's impossible. The police will always be antagonized no matter what you do, and they will always try to attack you and instigate and create violence and chaos, regardless of how peaceful you try to be. However, you shouldn't overtly try to, like antagonize them back, I guess, or like, just like you're not supposed to like be getting in fights with them or whatever. In general, that's not usually conducive to a good protest.
It's such losers. But thank God that people are stupid as they are, but remember, they're still impeding.
I assure you that these people were some of the best and brightest of their class, and probably many of them were on track and field for whatever reason that seems to be, or like we're on various sports teams. I don't know what she's trying to say. I think she's trying to say that like they're nerds who aren't like good at sports, which is a weird angle of attack. I guess that's why they call it the Ingram angle. It's a weird angle of attack. But as someone who is also a nerd and an anti-capitalist who goes to various protests and stuff, like I'm relatively athletic, so I don't know if that helps the argument. But
federal law enforcement. But of course, Hakeem Jeffries is on their side.
Delaney Hall should be shut down, and every single individual, particularly those at a high level connected to this facility, they're engaging in a depraved indifference to human life.
What a bozo. Independent journalist Nick Sorter is
he is a bozo, but those words were true.
Live from Delaney Hall. Nick, are you getting your mail forwarded there? I was wondering, because you've been there for so long. You fit right in.
Also, by the way, this is what happened in Minneapolis, right? You put up a big enough stink, you cause enough trouble, you make it hard for this place to, keep funding the security that's necessary through the police and all that stuff. You just keep making it harder and harder for them. And eventually it has an impact. Like in Minneapolis, eventually they went home. Yes, 2 people died in order to get that to happen. However, eventually they went home. And I think that if these people keep pushing, eventually they're going to have to either improve the conditions of this facility or shut it down in its entirety because it's just too expensive to keep operating. So I say, keep it up and keep this loser like coming back here to report on it every single day. Because the more news, the more eyeballs are on it, the better.
And with that costume, though, you are looking like very insurgent-esque. Especially the lack of a shower.
The greasy-looking hair really.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Well, I did say that. Yeah. So what can we expect tonight? Is this curfew going to really
also these people who have never like fought for anything in their entire lives except for like advocating for the fascist authoritarian state of our country? It annoys me when they try to complain about people, you know, putting their life and body on the line to try to actually affect material change, even if you don't agree with what they're trying to do. Like, you should be impressed that they're just even out there at all, got off the fucking couch to do this stuff. That shows a level of character that these people will never ever be able to attain.
Do it. I love Nick's adjusting the lens. Is the curfew really going to do it?
It's always a devolving situation out here as time goes on. You hear a bunch of screaming going on over here right now, and so what the hell is going on? We don't really know because we're dealing with a bunch of mentally ill people. Some sort of police action happening. You still have over an hour and a half until curfew, Laura, but I will say, just based on being out here in my new home of Newark, New Jersey, I guess, on the streets, is the police, the New Jersey State Police have been honestly incredible. I have nothing bad to say about anything.
Yeah, they're beating the shit out of people like we won. That's what they're thinking.
They rounded up dozens of people yesterday, kettled them right over here. Most of them are still in jail tonight, Laura. Like, I thought they were going to release them. I camped outside the jail waiting to watch them be released at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Nope. Most of them are still in jail. And so that's a big difference from what you see in places like Minnesota.
Well, but they'll be out of jail eventually. You can't charge them for being protesters. Like, you can't. Sorry. Like, they're not doing anything wrong. They'll be out. They'll be out eventually. The court system. I mean, we do still have a somewhat competent court system that is not going to, like, yes, they're going to try to charge them with, like, I don't know, resisting arrest or trespassing or whatever, but they'll be fine.
Where they didn't arrest anybody for anything out there. They were totally withdrawn from the situation.
Nick, I saw a video last night of, again, they could have done this right off the bat, so I don't know why they didn't. But they removed someone who was really causing a problem, who was standing, I believe it was in front of the police, in about 60 seconds. They took two of these officers, took him and threw him, like, they didn't injure, but it meant like whisked him away, which just should happen immediately.
Yeah, black bagging. It's called black bagging. There's a long history of it in Nazi movements. Okay, it's called black bagging. If you want to know what the term is for these for that thing, it's called black bagging. Laura
in these
Ingraham.
Situations, if you're interfering with federal law enforcement and you're going up against into their faces, you're scaring their horses, which I really don't like, scaring the horses. Then you should be.
Well, then don't bring the fucking horses out.
Immediately arrested. This shouldn't be tolerated for 15
arrested
minutes,
for what?
let alone 5.
Arrested for what? You should be. Of course, you should be allowed to scream at police. That's our First Amendment right. We pay their fucking salaries. We should be allowed to scream at them as much as we fucking want. Same with these ICE facilities. I guess this one is a private one or whatever. But all of the ICE officers that are in there, we pay their fucking salaries. We should be able to yell whatever the fuck we want at them. That is our right as Americans who pay their goddamn salaries.
5 or 6 days, or however long this has been going on, longer than that.
Yeah, and Laura, one of the issues.
Also, by the way, this is how this isn't going to stop. It's only going to keep getting more escalatory. And like, honestly, they're pretty lucky that these have been so organized and so nonviolent so far, is what I would say.
That we have out here is that there aren't nearly enough federal agents, right? So at some point, and I would imagine the conversations that would have happened in the background between the Trump administration and the governor out here, who is clearly being, let's just say the Trump administration is definitely winning out here at this point. All the numbers have thinned. People are in jail still currently. And these guys are the state police taking no crap, as I said. And that's very important because when we had that video the other day that I took where they were literally chucking 2x4s at horses in the middle of the street, police horses. That just
I'd have to
shows
see
you
that
this
to
is
believe it.
total anarchy. This has, honestly, a lot of it doesn't even have anything to do with ICE at this point. It's people that want to watch our country burn down.
Well, and I think Cheryl realized they're registering probably a lot of new Republican voters in New Jersey after watching this unfold. Nick,
I mean, most people hate ICE, so the average position is to hate ICE. So I don't necessarily know that that's the case. I mean, we'll see a lot more of this. I mean, as like ICE becomes, like I said, it's not going to stay with immigrants. They're eventually going to start. I mean, they've already rounded up some American citizens, but they're going to keep rounding up more and more American citizens, and it's going to start with people that these Fox News viewers don't like. It's going to start with, you know, the communists, the socialists, the unionists. As the poem goes, but eventually it'll come for them too. Even these conservatives who like maybe they're like, it's just so expensive. We need to stop this war from continuing. I can't afford it. I can't afford gas. Please stop the war. And they'll go out there and protest, and then they'll come for them too. Like this is how it always goes. And so like. I don't know. You need to not stop. You also need to keep pushing. Like I assume. I'm hoping that they'll keep pushing at this facility, and eventually it'll become too costly and too expensive for the state to continuously send the the police to go continuously surveil them and round them up and funnel them into the courts to then get acquitted, to then go back to protest, to then do the cycle all through it over and over again. So let's look at the comments, the Fox News comments. They don't hate ICE. They hate America. If you hate the U.S. Okay. Wow. Cowards wear masks. Take the masks off. Are they talking about ICE? So this person thinks that immigrants are taking millions from our taxes to house these people? I don't understand. Immigrants pay more into the system. Well, there you go. And eventually they will arrest you too. Here, I'll say criminalize dissent enough, and eventually they will arrest you too. Okay, there you go.